Parliament's Social Development Committee on the Constitutional Court judgment. The Crown Court gave SASSA an extension of 6 months to continue working with Cash Paymaster Services to ensure that grants are being paid to beneficiaries. Well, the contract was due to expire on the 31st of March this year, and SASSA had brought an application saying it was part of its system to allow CPS to hand over the payment of grants to the South African Post Office. In 2014, the court invalidated the contract to pay social grants to 17 million beneficiaries entering back in 2012. When Justice Leona Theron delivered her judgment, she warned former Social Development Minister Batapile Dlamini and acting SASSA CEO Pearl Bengu that they were not off the hook. Well, continuing with our reactions to breaking news this hour on the conviction of Vicki Momberg, we continue to give you reactions. We are now joined by Melissa Steyn. She's the National Research Chairperson of WIT's Centre for Diversity Studies. Very good morning to you, Melissa. Thank you very much for joining us here on SABC Newsroom. It has now been deemed a landmark sentencing. What is your initial reaction?
Well, similar. I also think that it's a very, very important landmark that we've achieved in South Africa, because I think we're indicating quite clearly that, egregious racism will be dealt with and that our country is not going to tolerate that. So I think it's really important. It's important for what it says to ordinary citizens about the dignity of other people, of the way we have to engage with each other. And I think it sends an important message to parents in the country around how we have to socialize our children.
We do know that, hearing word from Mombergs' lawyers, that she is set to appeal the conviction. Her lawyers citing that she was not necessarily in the state of mind, as it was just after a smash and grab that took place, and that she is set to appeal. What do you make of that, on the grounds that the conviction is too harsh coming from her camp?
Well, most of us at some point or another, if we live in our urban areas in South Africa, will experience some form of crime, and in some ways that is an acid test. Those are the kinds of moments at which things like deep-seated racism either emerge or don't, So, I find that completely, just an unacceptable sort of argument. Most of us, as I say, we've all had difficult experiences, but we're not going to behave in that way.
Definitely. Thank you very much for giving us your reaction there. Melissa Steyn, National Research Chairperson of WIT's Centre for Diversity Studies. Just the reactions around the sentencing of Vicki Momberg, 3 years prison sentence, one of which will be suspended.